Hi and hello, viewers. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Kumbi Jiku show. This is GK Sports India YouTube channel. We are here to do the review of the World Cup 2025, the high-profile game India versus Australia, which happened at Vizag. High-scoring game, Jiku. So much was spoken about high scores being made and being chased down. But at last, we saw 330 being made by India after being put into bat by Australia. A pretty brave, decision which Australia took, and in the end, the result showed why they decided to chase down the target comfortably, just barring a few hiccups towards the end. The scoreline might say 331 for 7, 1 over to spare. Might look a bit of a close contest, but in the end, I think Australia can't head home, chasing down a massive target. Your opening thoughts on the game, Jiku?
Thank you, Sri. Hello, viewers. See, that is why they are 7-time world champions, Australia, isn't it? Whatever the situation is, whatever the target is, they calculated their run chase very well and led by none other than their captain, who was herself being not scoring so much in this World Cup so far, found the right occasion, and the player that whom I believe will win the match for India, for Australia, Ellis Perry. She stayed, though she was out for a brief while because of cramp or whatever. She came back, scored the winning runs, and Australia comfortable victors by 3 wickets with 7 deliveries to spare. So there was something which was not on unexpected lines. It was expected. Australia expected to win, but then how they won the match was something that for teams to learn. Tough situations, even though they were giving away so many runs to India, how they came back through Annabel Sutherland and her variations, and how a top order batter needed to bat deep and take the team to as close to the target as possible, if not be there till the end and ensure that the team crosses the line. That was perfect cricket from Australia's point of view.
True, I think a well-planned run chase, you can say. A beautiful batting track, maybe a bit on the slower side, but 661 runs being scored in about 98 overs. That the score line, shows the sort of batting abilities both the teams possessed. To start with, Jiku, were you happy with the composition of the Indian playing 11? Or did you expect any changes to, come through?
I thought playing against this formidable Australians, I thought the experience of Renuka Thakur would have mattered a lot for India. But then they went with the same combination perhaps that won the match against Pakistan, but not the same combination that did not do well against South Africa. Maybe the experience of Renuka Thakur would have made some difference. Having said that, the Indian medium pacers were off target yesterday, and the inexperience of Kranti Gaud and Amanjot Kaur was revealed yesterday. So that was something which maybe India going forward will have to rethink. And like I always mention, when you have your best bowler sitting outside, it is not going to be that easy winning matches. Though they have won against Pakistan, they did not against South Africa, and it showed against Australia yesterday.
Well, India also would have maybe, chased down, but having put in, happy with the way India batted, Jiku, because there was so much talk about the big three, the experience of Smriti Mandhana, Harmanpreet Kaur, as well as Jemimah Rodrigues not coming to the party. And it was typically the lower middle order which was rescuing India till the last game against South Africa. 330, all out with 7 balls to spare. We'll talk about the 7 balls at a later stage. Very happy with the way India batted. Looking at all important game against 7-time world champions, 330 on board. In a very, very important game. I would say the best game in the World Cup running into the semi-final stage. So very happy with the way India batted.
Yeah, but if you look at the way India started, 155 in almost 25 overs. Smriti Mandhana finally coming good, and I thought the way she started and the way her partnership with Pratika Rawal was 155 runs, they were looking good, each of them, for triple digit scores. But that is the beauty of Australia bowling. They find some opening in the opposition ranks, and when they say when you give them an inch, they take a mile. That is what Australia did. Pretty happy with the way they started, but then they should have gone on to score beyond 350, 360, or even 370, which would have taken the game away from Australia. But then this is something which India should be concerned about. Starts, yes, but then look at the middle order. The starts that some of the players got. Richa Ghosh, yeah, she played a cameo. Jemima Rodriguez for once came good with the bat, but then those 20s and 30s, somebody you needed to bat till the end and finished it off instead of playing in the air and giving catches. Look at the Indian batting and how most of the batters got out. Similar shots, caught in the boundary, long on, long off region, and going for big hits, trying to accelerate, trying to score maximums. But then it doesn't happen always. So that's something which is an area of concern, especially the batting of Captain Harmanpreet, who is yet to set this World Cup afire with her batting exploits.
Well, you're being pretty generous in saying India should have got 370. I think, yes, that would have been a tall ask for any side chasing it down. But I thought, barring Annabel Sutherland, who held to her nerves and who showed her experience, taking the pace of the ball, bowling those slow bounces, was successful, in pegging India back to that score of 330. She picked up 5 for 40. But somewhere, did you realize that even the Australians always they are a side which are pretty composed on the field of play. In fact, at one point in time, I was just watching Elisa Haley struggling to get her field going because Indians were scoring at will. So pressure is something which can catch up to the best in the business. Uh, do you think Australia when they were fielding and bowling? Do you think they were at the top, or typically they were off color because the brilliant start which India got, put them under pressure? But as we know, the Australians came back in the last 10 overs to peg India back to the 330. Your take on that, Jiku?
Certainly, Australian cricketers, they're also humans, aren't they? So the pressure can go to any team, even the best in the world feel the pressure. But it's how they come back from those situations and how they make the most of the openings that they create in the opposition lineup. That makes the difference. And Australia, they know how to win matches, how to win tougher matches, and even against the best of opposition. India Australia, much awaited match. It was indeed a close match, but then in the end, Australia had it comfortably. But yes, that's why her experience counted. We should also not forget the performance of the left arm spinner Molini, who came into the squad in place of Wareham, did her bit, picking up a couple of wickets, holding on to the catches. So it is a combined effort. Australia, I know they were not their plans were not executed well when the opening partnership got going, Smriti Mandana and Pratika Rawal. But it's how they come back and how they hold on to those moments, holding on to the catches, some tense moments, boundary line catches, and that's why they are the top of the world. They are world champions, not just one or twice, two times, but 7 times, and they know to win these kind of matches, which is where India will do well to learn from them and go better in this World Cup if they are to advance beyond the semi-final stage.
Well, India would be certainly a happy dressing room, having got 330, but they knew they had a task on hand. Australia had no choice because they decided to chase 331, and their skipper was just not firing and she was off color till the last night against India. I mean, they say when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. I think that was what, the masterclass by Alyssa Healy. 142 of 102 balls, 21 boundaries, and 3 sixers. I mean, she was so disappointed, when 60 odd runs were left to win when she got out. But we cannot take away the efforts of Litchfield, who got 40, opening the batting with Alyssa Healy, and of course there was a freak injury, maybe a hamstring pull with Elsie Perry, and she came back towards the end. Also, we can't forget the quality knock of Ash Gardner, who had a very off day with the ball, making that crucial 45 and stitching a partnership with the Healy. Now, how good was this run chase, Jiku, and you know pressure? How they got around that, and how they got going against the inexperienced Indian medium pace attack. The power play was one which they capitalized on really well. So, how good was this run chase from Australia?
It was, in fact, the highest ever successful run chase in women's ODIs, not just in World Cup, not just between Australia and India, but all women's ODIs concerned. So you know how good that run chase was. 331, and you needed somebody from the top. It's often said, isn't it, that when you have this kind of a tall target, you need somebody from the top, especially if preferably the openers, to bat deep and bat almost till the end, if not till the end. And that's what Alisa Healy, the captain of Australia, held on to that responsibility and did not disappoint. Coming into this match, she has not been having good scores. Of course, Australia have the batsmen to do that. They have had two other centurions in Ashley Gardner and Beth Mooney in the previous matches, and she added to that list of centurions in this World Cup. It was a well calculated run chase, going neck and neck with the Indian team around the same mark when say around for 25 or 30 overs, not losing too many wickets, putting on enough runs and maintaining that run rate. And they know, we know Australia bat deep. They bat till about say number 9 when you have Kim Garth coming at number 9. So it's a very good tall batting order. There was no doubt that Australia was going to chase it down because it was such a fine batting strip also. Visakhapatnam, we were surprised that it was not in the region of 300 when India played South Africa. But then here we saw, and like we have been hearing, teams scoring 300 and 350, batting first, cannot rest easy, and that's what we got to see. Fantastic run chase led by their captain and finished off by Elise Perry, who came back after the treatment to her whatever problem. That was something which was expected of Australia, and that is why they are champions. I will maintain that. Not for nothing, they are 7-time world champions, and yesterday was an example of what they can do, whatever the situation was.
I think looking at the Indian bowling, nothing much to take away. I think the standout bowler was Sri Charani. She picked up 3 for 41 in her 10-over spell, along with Deepti Sharma, the experienced off spinner who got 2 for 52. Barring this, I think it was an off day for Sneh Rana, going for 85 in 10 overs without picking up a wicket. Now, what was more concerning for me was the inexperienced duo. Maybe, Amanjot Kaur is not a standout or a first-up medium-fast bowler, along with the inexperienced Kranti Gaur. They conceded something like 141 runs in 18 overs between them. And whenever they came on to bowl, it was like, a free fodder for the Australians. Do you think, not having a quality medium pace attack, which is not able to make initial inroads, is hurting India, and over reliance on the 3 spinners, and mind you, no option of the 6th bowler?
Right.
I think, do you think this is hurting India?
It certainly, see, that is why I always maintain your best bowler is sitting out. It is not going to be easy containing the opposition. Renuka Thakur has been taking wickets in the initial overs, creating some early inroads into the opposition batting. But then her absence is definitely not helping India's cause. Yes, Kranti Gaur had a good series in England, picking up those 6 wickets, which is a rare occasion. But then, in such big occasions as the World Cup, you need to be playing your best bowlers. So definitely, India is set back by not playing Renuka Thakur. And when the opposition cashes in on these inexperienced bowlers, it doesn't help the team and the spinners. They are, because the batsmen are set well, even the spinners have to bear the brunt. And like you said, Sneh Rana, off color. How much can even Sri Charani, whose bowling was acknowledged well by Alisa Healy, but then Alisa Healy had to work around other bowlers, even though Sri Charani was good. what they do with the other bowlers and make the most of it. That is what this run chase was all about, picking those gaps. That was easy for Australia in the end. So definitely, India should be bowling with their best personnel, and hopefully they do it against England come Sunday.
Well, a word on Harmanpreet Kaur, the batter, and Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain. She walked in such a position, when India were cruising along at 6+. I think you also would have observed that there was a single miss for which Harleen Deol didn't respond. Immediately after the next ball, there was a boundary, and there was a mouthful from the skipper, and her expression was not really pleasant. And that showed again when India were fielding.
Right.
Mind you, two inexperienced fast bowlers, the onus on spinners, no sixth bowling option. Harmanpreet was reluctant to bowl after the 1 over she bowled. Somewhere shoulders drooping. If your captain is animated, she's not happy with the way things are going on. It's going to rub off on your other, 10 players on the field of play. I mean, till maybe, mentally Harmanpreet Kaur doesn't turn around her batting form. I think certainly it's going to affect her captaincy, which is going to rub off on the team also. Now, how do you look at this scenario?
Certainly, see, it's a captain has to be leading from the front. Her not being able to score in the previous matches, and again after the start that she got yesterday, not making it big. That's all perhaps is working on her mind and maybe affecting her own performance, be it on the field as captain or with the bat. It didn't make a nice picture, and I was wondering if Harleen Deol was going to run away from Harmanpreet Kaur after that mouthful that she got after not going for that single. But it was again not a pleasant side. But I'm sure her experience and her seniority, she knows that she has to be cool, calm, and not be so much expressive that it doesn't make a good picture when the whole world is watching. That's the difference between some of the great leaders, great captains, and perhaps Harmanpreet Kaur. Though she has had some results, she has still a lot to do. And perhaps when the opposition takes away the match from her team, she is lost for ideas, and that clearly reflected on the result yesterday.
Well, Jiku, see, it's a game wherein one team wins and one team loses. See, what I found, watching the game was it was basically the temperament, of the teams which separated them from victory and defeat. The way they planned their chase, the way the Australians played, even on the field, when they were dropped catches, misfields. I think Elisa Hailey didn't drop her, shoulders at any point in time. She was repeatedly running up, even though the bowlers were experienced, like Kim Garth, could be Gardner, could be Elena King, could be Sutherland. She always, had a word with them, which Harmanpreet, never looked like doing. I mean, see, the pressure of a home World Cup and also Harmanpreet's form in the recent past, she's not getting younger by the day. She's 36. You never know, could be her last World Cup also. Is the pressure getting to her because of not scoring runs? But having said that, the premium is you are in charge of the side. So I think, one, moving forward into the business end of the tournament, India is playing England after a break of another 4 or 5 days. They get a well-deserved rest. They move on to indoor, wherein the wickets are much more batter-friendly, smaller grounds they play on. Then they get to play New Zealand, and of course the dangerous Bangladesh in the last match. So I mean, the tournament is still open, but my favorites for the top four still remain Australia, England, India, and South Africa. There could be an upset there. Could be New Zealand, jumping in instead of anybody. So do you think the areas India need to work on subtly 1-2 points moving into the game against England?
It's certainly the batters who get starts should make it big and not throw it away like it has been happening quite often. The middle order is definitely a concern. If the openers get starts, make big, one of them at least bat till the end, say go beyond the 45 over mark. So the team is placed well, and make a couple of changes, because it's understood that there is no other option that they have in the batting lineup. But with the bowlers who are sitting out, so somebody like Renuka Singh Thakur should be playing, and maybe try Arundhati Reddy in place of say one or two bowler. So it's and of course you have the experienced spin and agile fielder and Radha Yadav sitting out. So couple of changes because this combination has not worked for two consecutive games. Maybe going to Indore against England, against who they have had a successful trip to England not long ago. Maybe get the right options and get back to winning ways. What this result, even though the two losses, what it has done is still not changed the position of India in the points table. They remain third. And like you said, I'm totally in agreement with you. The top four teams will not change because that is the quality of the other four teams that are in the other half of the points table. So India should make it to the semifinals unless they bat or they play so badly that they let others come back or others to get over them.
Well, fair point, Jiko. I think certainly food for thought. They've got 5 days to recoup, and obviously the think tank would work and try and see how a change or odd because three changes would be a knee-jerk reaction. Well, I don't agree with you on one point saying that India has had a successful tour of England. This is a World Cup event. So when a World Cup comes in, the same opposition could look really monstrous for you. Well, as always, thank you for your insights, Zico. Hopefully, better days, two losses can really pull up India. As I say, a much needed break. Many a times, a break can be a double edged sword, but I think this is a real good time for India just to get off the game for a day or two, then get back into business. As I said, we certainly would have a belter of a track in Indore where again it would be a high scoring game. Take it from me. Two quality sides out there. And again, this game would be a humdinger as good as the one against Australia. And we all hope India get back to the winning ways. Thank you very much, Jiko. Thank you, viewers. Keep watching, keep subscribing, and share with your friends. Till we meet again for the preview of the India-England game. Take care and stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sri. Thank you very much. Before I just sign off, the captains of different teams have done well. Nat Brunt for England and Alisa Healy for Australia. So I feel it's the turn of Harmanpreet Kaur in the next game against England to come good and hopefully take India back to winning ways. On that note, thank you very much, Sri, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.